I just realized the top that I put on for this video is actually like somewhat appropriate with the design. It's a very fantasy design, isn't it? Hey guys, it's Amy here, back again with another video. So you guys remember how in October I made that video about all the fantasy tropes that I hated? Well, today we're going to be looking at the other side of that coin. Furthermore, my TBR is shrinking, dwindling away like water in a tank during a water shortage. And this video can hopefully help me out. I need more fantasy books like these. If any of these tropes feature in any books that you know of, please let me know. There's like quite a few that I want to read more of. Especially trope number 4. I barely see any books with trope number 4 in it. I've literally read one series with that trope in it, and that's it. A nice short and sweet intro for us to get into the juicy stuff. Here are my 7 favorite fantasy tropes. Number 1, personality dictates magic. Literally, when anybody in a piece of media starts doing magic, I always start to analyze it and see how it compares to their personality. And if there is a link, then I've hit the jackpot. People always underestimate the biases that we have with anything, and that would include magic if we had it. And when the biases are present and visible, then I really love it. Like a certain spell, or a certain kind of spell, or like magic using that they frequently go to. Even though something may be a bit more efficient for the situation, they're just more comfortable with this one specific type of magic. I love it even more if like they're an elemental kind of magic person and the element that they use to cast directly relates to their personality. This is a trope that I milk the 9 hells out of in my fantasy stories. Even more so than just ASTER'S CODA exposure. Like all my other fantasy-based series that I've got planning both in paper and in my head, they feature this trope and like use it to no avail. No end, sorry. It just feels wrong to me to do it otherwise. And there are very few exceptions that I would put in place to stray from this trope because it just makes way too much sense to... Yeah, this trope is like a Bible to me. The magic is inside of you and it reflects you like a mirror. Number 2, good guys from hell. There is a reason why I play a tiefling more than any other race in Dungeons & Dragons, and also a reason why some days I just want to like randomly put on my devil horns and my fangs. I just love taking things that are hellish and edgy and turning them into something very pure or good, or seeing them in a good light. I love this even more if they're like fighting against some sort of internal instinct that makes them evil. It's probably a subversion done to death, but I don't care. I'm basic. Oh, maybe not like Lord of the Rings basic, but I'm still pretty basic in terms of fantasy. I genuinely want to see more books like that. Good-hearted devils or half-devils. I don't care, I just want to see more hell-based things. Give me that good shit. I'm fully giving a shout out here. Fellow author tuber JM Shaley, they have got a book in the works. I think they're aiming to publish it this year, if things go to plan. If that is incorrect, I am so sorry. And I'm already like so excited about it. It's about a half succubus trying to escape her hellish home. That is my thing right there. You've already got somebody who's definitely going to be buying your book, Mr. J.M. Shaley. I cannot wait to pick up a copy. Number 3, protecting the magic. Yet another trope that features in my novel. I am the epitome of write what you want to read. This is my favorite kind of urban fantasy, where there's some sort of society that is protecting the hidden magic world from the humans and the modern mundane society. A good old fantasy MI6. Yeah, there are many urban fantasy novels where the magic is hidden from everybody who is not associated with the magic, but there's something about where humanity needs to be protected from that magic that really gets to me. Or like some cool subversions where the magic needs to be protected from humanity. I like that as well. Actually, we need to see more of that second one. I'm talking like Men in Black style things, just, you know, fantasy. My own novel was actually compared to being like the fantasy version of Men in Black, and I really want to see more stories like this. Number 4, you got the perfect warlock. Somebody call Sam Riegel! Warlocks are my favorite class in Dungeons & Dragons, and I will literally leap at any book that's got these kinds of warlocks, whether good or bad, in general. I'm not talking about male witches as the Google definition interprets it as. I'm talking about people who sell their souls to gain magic. And they make pacts with patrons, and you can see the relationship between the warlock and the patron and sort of the tensions there. The most obvious is selling souls to devils, but I really like to see a bunch of the interpretations of the warlock. Bonus points if they were forced into the pact and they're trying to break out of it. As I said, I love this trope solely for the relationship between warlock and patron and the constant bargaining and conflicts of interest that come up from being a warlock. Especially if it's a good warlock hooked onto an evil patron. But I don't see nearly enough books with this in it, and it just makes me so freaking sad. Number 5, Manipulative Mad Mages. Any villain that has the ability to control minds in some form is literally 5 times more scary, captivating, and powerful to me. There is genuinely nothing more heart-wrenching in a novel or any piece of media than having a character that was on the good side forcefully having to join the evil side and just forgetting all that was good as they are like forced to fight their best friend or their lover or something. Oh god. It breaks me, and yet I'm addicted to it at the same time. There's also the hive mind, where the villain can just like click their fingers and like a massive group of strangers just start to do their bidding. That's like edge of my seat kind of content right there. And the telekinetics in the ASTER'S CODA series aren't the last you're gonna see of these villains in my works, because I just love this so freaking much. I have way too many grand plans to manipulate the masses. But trust me, I'm not an actual manipulator myself. The technique that I use to get people to do my bidding is definitely to do with persuasion. I understand that you guys have an agency, and I want to respect the agency and the thoughts and the actions that you take, unless they are actions that hurt other people. In that case, screw you. Number 6, Battle Mages. On episode 4 of Tropes that appear in my novel. You know what makes magic cooler? When you add an axe to it. Magic fights are the best fights, the epitome of badassery and fantasy. Dr. Seuss, is that you inside of me? Seeing swords lit up with fire or lightning, or having like entire weapons made out of an element that you control, that's like so cool, and I love the battle mage for that. I don't always mean in like an Avatar sense where they're using martial arts to like conjure their different magic and casting. I mean more when they're like very fighting based, but then they use their magic as a way to enhance the way that they fight. Like an eternal well of magic combined with years of martial training to make you the ultimate powerhouse. Magic just makes everything better, you get me? And number 7, Champion of the Gods. This is just like the consensual and wholesome version of the warlock. Not quite as edgy or distraught, but it's still really, really fun. Just hearing somebody being a champion of the gods just puts me in a whole lot of awe and curiosity. Like, what kind of actions did this champion do to make themselves be valuable in the eyes of the god? What kind of powers do they get from that god? It's basically just points number 4 and 6 combined, I guess. I don't care, it's still cool no matter what! This may be my inner Greek mythology and Percy Jackson fan talking, but let them speak, they've got good taste! And there we go, my 7 favorite fantasy tropes. Please let me know down in the description any other books that feature this. And also, if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you are new around here. Ring that bell so you can find out when I post more creative content. If you like some of these tropes featured in this list, you're gonna find 4 of them in my novel, ASTER'S CODA Exposure. Follow Abby Taka as she learns about her family's otherworldly blood feud and she faces her enemy. You can also check down in the description to find my Instagram, my Fiverr, my TikTok, and my website. Stay creative, everybody, and I'll be seeing you in the next video.